Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, March 10th. Okay, so welcome to the new moon in Pisces energy. This is also the last day that Venus will be in Aquarius energy. So to say that we are going to face a little bit of an intensity would be an understatement. Of course, we have the moon in Pisces popping off at 5 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 20 degrees, 17 minutes. That is going to be our peak new moon energy. But the moon in Pisces will go void, of course, at 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be shifting into Aries energy at 8:20 p.m. Definitely a shift in the mood, in the attitude that we are really going to appreciate after these last couple of days of building towards this final lunar phase of the old astrological calendar. So there are 9 different aspects popping off here today. 8 of them are going to involve the moon. Of course, I am going to recommend that you take a listen to the astro forecast that I put out for this new moon in Pisces. And I'm also going to recommend that you download your moon guide, that you do the work, that you get in alignment with this energy, that you understand what it is that we're closing the door upon, what it is that we are now initiating as far as a new path, plan, cycle goes, as we close out this old astrological calendar, this old karmic chapter, and we are awaiting to dive into a new one. Definitely going to be a very interesting week. If you have not listened to this week's ascension forecast, I'm going to recommend you do that as well so that you understand the highs, the lows, the everything in between of the energy that we are going to be experiencing over the course of this next week. So we have the moon very much in this Pisces energy, sextiling Uranus. Uranus, of course, has kind of stolen the spotlight, stolen the show over these last couple of days. If you haven't listened to yesterday's forecast, Saturday, March 9th, I'm going to recommend you do so. I go into a little bit of depth and detail what Uranus is all about, the energy that he's creating in our lives right now, and what it is that we can do with it. The moon sextiling with Uranus is a good energy because it's opening us up to new ideas, to new epiphanies, to new ways of doing things, to new directions that we should be pursuing, new paths in which we need to be walking, new vision, new goals, new dreams that we are definitely needing to explore at this particular point in time as our intuition, our higher selves are pushing us in a totally different direction than what it is that we have been walking. The moon is then going to make a positive interaction with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger in this Aquarius energy that also stole the show with Uranus here yesterday. Again, I'm going to encourage you to listen to Saturday's energy forecast for the highs, the lows, the everything in between. 5 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon and the sun come together in this Pisces energy. This is essentially the beginning of the end of the world as we know it. Again, I'm going to recommend that you take a listen to that astro forecast, that you download your moon guide and understand what this next chapter is all about. Of course, we sit in that energy for a couple of hours and we are going to definitely feel that peak energy pop off and then the dissipation of that energy really do a number on our physical energy, our emotional energy as well. 3:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to come up to bump into conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces season, the ruler of this new moon in Pisces. He is in his rulership in Pisces, of course, which means that this is just as much of an ending as it is a beginning. And this has a lot to do with our intuition, our spiritual selves, our creative force energy, our imagination, but it also includes the shadow work that needs to be done as well. Really taking a good look at our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, and where it is that they are blocking us from actually pursuing the path that our higher selves need us to be walking at this particular point in time. This is when the moon is going to go void, of course. And when the moon is void, things are shaky, things are unstable, things are uncertain. Especially coming out of a new moon, we are definitely not going to be feeling so hot, not feeling so good. We're going to have to give ourselves a little bit of grace until we can stabilize in that Aries energy. But while the moon is still in Pisces energy, still very void, we are going to have a semi-square, creating a little bit of tension and conflict with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings in this Taurus energy. So right now, we're not feeling so good. We're not feeling so positive. We're not feeling so confident. We're not feeling so hopeful. We are not focused on the options, the opportunities that we have in front of us to build, to grow, to evolve. Instead, we're kind of sitting in the funk. We're sitting in this present moment. We're moving into la la land. We have no want, need, or desire to take part in reality at any kind of level. The Pisces energy is the escape artist of the zodiac, is the avoidant energy of the zodiac. And if things aren't so happy, peachy keen, we want nothing to do with it. So instead of thinking of our opportunities for growth and expansion that Jupiter wants us focused on, we are just coming up with all the reasons of why we ain't doing a damn thing. We're just going to curl up in a ball. We're going to provide ourselves with some comfort food, some soothing types of activities until this energy passes. Now, here's an interesting thing. Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, communication, how it is that we express ourselves, is fresh in this Aries energy. We just moved into this Aries energy here yesterday. If you want to go ahead, take a listen to that astro forecast, you'd have a better understanding of the major shift, the major change, the major transformation that took place in our headspace over the course of last night. Now, Mercury, fresh in this Aries energy, again, very aggressive, very straightforward, very tunnel vision on a particular goal, vision, dream, idea, going to sextile, beautiful interaction with Pluto, the great transformer himself, in this Aquarius energy. This is going to improve our mental plane. We are going to be able to start kind of dissecting some details, some information that was probably right in front of our face that we couldn't comprehend at the time, didn't make any kind of sense of. Again, Mercury in Pisces was very confusing, that now we're able to kind of pick apart. We're seeing the complexities of a situation. We're seeing more layers to a situation. We may have aha moments where we're kind of in detective mode, aggressively kind of, searching through situations and circumstances, conversations, thoughts, ideas that we can pluck new information, new perspectives, new details out of. This is an energy where we may actually start finally seeing the truth of a matter, the truth of a situation that we have been actively trying to avoid, actively trying to paint a better picture of. Again, living in Delulu land with Mercury and Pisces, we are a lot more realistic, a lot more grounded in this Aries energy, and therefore we can no longer turn our head, turn a blind eye to a lot of the things that were very easy for us to avoid while Mercury was in that Pisces energy. This is a time to understand that we have a pretty profound ability to look way deeper into an issue, a topic, a theme, a conversation, a problem, whatever the case may be. We have laser vision in it. We can see things that we weren't able to see. We can understand things that we weren't previously able to comprehend. We're able to articulate things that we were unable to say. We're able to actually communicate and express things that we could not form a word to actually express and get out of our body. There is an energy where, we feel a little bit rushed, a little bit impulsive to kind of align with a choice or make a decision. But at the same time, we know that we can't jump into anything right now. We know that we still have to kind of unearth a little bit more information, some more details to help us paint a bigger, broader picture that we're just starting to piece together. So we do have our detective hats on. We do want a deeper meaning, a deeper understanding, a more profound perspective of some of the issues that we haven't been able to make any sense out of. This is a psychological trigger and awareness for us to understand ourselves from a deeper level, therefore understanding our lives from a bigger, broader perspective. This is an empowerment energy. It's a good time to kind of kick that negative ass narrative to the curb, that depressive state to the curb as well. And it is time for us to rise to the challenge in a warrior type of spirit and attitude to understand that, we are still facing some problems that we have yet to kind of find some resolutions upon. However, we are more apt, I'm going to say, to rise to the challenge of these particular obstacles at this particular point in time, because Mercury in Aries energy is as forceful as we could possibly get, and Pluto is empowering as we can get. So this jive, this vibe is really going to work for us. Now, the moon, still in Pisces energy, still void of course, is going to make a positive interaction with Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money. She's nearing the final degrees of Aquarius energy as she anticipates her transition into Pisces energy here tomorrow on the 11th. The moon and Venus coming together in this way is definitely illuminating us to new wants, needs, and desires, to a major change in our heart space, to a change to our priorities, to our values, to what excites us, to what it is that we need to do to provide ourselves with more happiness, more joy, more safety, more security, more stability in our lives, especially where our emotional realm is concerned. 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will shift into Aries energy. You best believe that this is going to put a pep back in our step. It is going to pluck us out of the depressive depths of that Piscean energy that we've been sitting in for a very long time. It is going to activate a certain level of aggression, of a warrior type of mood and attitude and spirit that is needed in order for us to process very quickly over this next week what needs to go in order for us to lighten the load so that we are traveling as light as possible into this new astrological calendar. We have the moon in Aries energy, sextiling, beautiful interaction with Pluto, the great transformer. So you best believe that emotionally speaking, we are rising to the challenge. We are no longer stuck in the depressive funk of our fears, our doubts, our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities. We are flipping the script. We are empowering ourselves. We feel like we can take on the world with this particular energy. Make sure you take a mental snapshot of it because it's not going to last that long. However, it is going to kind of, again, ignite the spark, the fire, the flame in our inner realm needed in order for us to close the door on this particular chapter and open the door to a new one. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon coming up to, bumping into, teaming up with Mercury in this Aries energy. We're fresh in it. So again, conjunction, an ending just as much as a beginning. The ending of the funk, the ending of the victimhood mentality, the ending of the whining and the crying. Yes, we're still in Pisces season, but it is going to take a little bit of a back burner for this next week. The moon is our emotional plane. The mercurial energy is our mental plane. We are in a new mood, a new attitude of this warrior type of spirit. For the first time in a long time, we are feeling hopeful and positive about what could actually happen, where we could actually change, where the transformation is taking place. Our heart space, the moon, our head space, Mercury, on the same page with wanting to initiate something new. That Aries energy, of course, is taking the leadership role, really putting us in a more direct path to go after what it is that we want, we need, we desire. We're a little bit more, I'm going to say, decisive on what those particular elements actually are and could be. And there is no stopping our inner realm from building us up to a point of energy, of inspiration, of motivation that we are going to need to kick the door down to this new astrological calendar and reset those karmic scales, tipping them in our favor.